The 7th case of meningococcemia as a father of a University of Oregon student contracts the bacterial illness. Good evening, I'm Sarah Hurwitz. We're told that a family of 7 is without a home tonight, 4 of those being children. And I want to show you what we're seeing at this point. Crews are still here inside the house. Check this out. As I step into the snow here, it breaks through. It's got that layer of ice. That's a good one.
Bacon.
I like it.
I would wake up to bacon every single day.
What are people going to be waking up tomorrow for the weather?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. In a bizarre crash, a deer flew through the windshield of 37-year-old Jesse Bastian's car on May 19th. Hours after neighbors heard a shot and were told to get inside, police cars still line the street here in the 2200 block of DeVos Street. The governor's office says that it was just routine, but some say that this shows that the governor knew that he did something wrong. It was a chaotic scene last night as police swarmed the area. A neighbor shooting at people and a highway shut down for several hours. One of the men who was shot at says he had a split-second reaction as the gun was pointed at him. A peaceful morning as the sun glistens on the McKenzie River, just a day after bullets flew through this cottage community.
Heard his sliding window open and looked back behind my shoulder and seen a hand with a gun come out the window, so I dove onto the deck and belly crawled down and around the other side of the house. Now
enjoying the sun, sitting on the deck where he dodged bullets, Reno Clark says he's confused why his neighbor 60-year-old David Shoptaw went into a rage.
I'd like to know why he got that wig got over. If we'd had words or something prior to, I'd understand it, but we never had no kind of words or anything.
Oregon State Police responded to a call just before 2 Tuesday afternoon after Shoptaw was allegedly shooting at or near neighbors. The SWAT team showed up as he barricaded himself for hours, throwing flash grenades into his home.
He was in the middle cabin here. It's pretty messed up right now.
The property owner, Ray Hoffman, is now dealing with the mess left behind by his tenant. This is the cabin where David Shoptaw lived. Crime tape, broken windows, and shattered glass and other items strewn about the yard.
I had a confrontation with him the night before when he was up here with his pickup tearing up the driveway and racing around in there. I told him to knock it off.
Over the last week, people who live at Woodlands Cottage say something just seemed off with Shoptaw. It may have all come to a head Tuesday, leaving this destruction behind and a community shaken. Earlier tonight, we weren't able to see much as police had much of the area taped off, but now we're standing in about where that crash happened. You can still see some of the skid marks here in the road as witnesses describe the horrific moment of impact. This black Chevy Camaro no longer in gear, but witnesses still reeling from the speed at which everything unfolded.
It was the most horrific thing I've ever seen, and it's a cliche, but it was something out of an action movie. It happened so fast and it was so violent.
The turn signal still blinking. One of 2 cars involved in an apparent drag racing incident Tuesday afternoon. Witness Jonathan Jude says he was traveling east on Matthews Road when he says he saw 2 cars speeding down the road and 2 people videotaping.
What I saw, I would have thought was an animation of some kind and not actual metal and steel and flesh involved.
Jude says the 2 cars sped around a woman standing and videotaping in the middle of the roadway, but the man didn't have time to react and went flying several feet in the air upon impact. All in an effort, he says, to reveal the truth about the drag racing problem on Matthews Road.
It's a very scary and sobering thought that as citizens trying to protect ourselves or our property, we could lose our life in an event of trying to get the evidence.
I've seen that black Camaro many times before. He's usually going at least 90, 100 miles an hour whenever I see him down this road, so I was not surprised to see that he's going fast.
Witnesses say drag racing has become a major problem on this stretch of Matthews Road, and neighbors have bound together to put an end to the dangerous activity by videotaping it to show to police. Jonathan Jude says that's unfortunately what the person was doing Tuesday afternoon, which tragically cost him his life. Oregon State Police haven't confirmed yet if it was a man or a woman that was killed tonight or if there was any videotaping involved. And at this point, no criminal charges have been filed. We will continue to bring you the latest on this developing story. Live in Goshen, Sarah Hurwitz, KEZI 9 News. Well, that first-class ticket meant a lot to Vietnam veteran Doug Heathman. He says he didn't realize it then, but he now knows why the ticket agent put him there. A kind gesture for service, and Heathman says it's time to say thanks.
Yeah, I don't recognize that guy. Looks like a little boy.
In a box he tucked away for years.
There's my dad and me and my mom leaving on my way to Vietnam.
A collection of pictures from a time when Vietnam veteran Doug Heathman was a young man. In that box, an airline ticket, the only one he's kept in nearly 50 years.
I always thought, well, I should go, try and actually thank him in person or somehow.
Written in red ink.
And there's the ticket he gave me, July 1969.
A date Heathman remembers vividly.
He slid the ticket across. I put you in the forward cabin, and I didn't think anything about it.
Recently back from serving a year in Vietnam and in full uniform, the 19-year-old bought a ticket home to Iowa after visiting some friends in Eugene. It wasn't until Heathman got on the plane that he realized what the ticket agent did for him that day.
Flight attendant came and said, "Want to see my ticket?" And I showed it to her. He said, "Well, you're supposed to be in the first class." So he upgraded me to first class, and I had neglected to thank him, so came back to try and find him.
Determined to thank the man behind the first-class ticket, Heathman wrote a letter to United Airlines and is actively working with them to track down the employee. We're told this may be the employee's ID number, a first clue in hopefully finding the man who showed his respect for Heathman's service.